Hi, I'm following Paul McWhorter's AI on the Edge lessons, and this is my video for lesson number 19, which is creating a bouncing box. Now, here's Paul's program that I got from his Top Tech Boy website, and I thought in order to explain and make it a lot simpler, I would take out the camera and just use a blank screen. So here's version, no camera. I've just set up a frame which is blank, and apart from that I've put in some debugging statements there and there, which I'm not using at the moment. So it's using x delta of 1, y delta of 1, and the box thickness of -1, which means it's solid. So if we run this, there, just wait for it to hit all the sides. It appears to be working perfectly. Now, after looking at that, a lot of people produced their solutions, and some people decided to not have a solid box but to have just an outline, and this can create problems. So I've just got a little program here where I'm drawing a box there, and it's solid, and then I'm drawing one of the same dimensions, only it's got an outline of 1, and then I'm drawing one with the same dimensions, and it's got an an outline of 1, a line thickness of 1 there, and that's got a line thickness of 21. And then I'm also drawing a circle, and with a radius of 50, with a line thickness of 3, and then the same thing with 36. Now, the reason why I'm showing this is because on someone's video I said, I don't think your bouncing is working right, but they didn't believe me. So here we go. I'll just show what it does. If we go down here, that one there, that shape, whoops, that line there is drawing that rectangle there, and then I'm drawing another rectangle which is just the outline, and they appear to be the same size, but I wouldn't really be able to tell. But then when you increase the thickness of the line, it obviously gets bigger. It gets bigger. It doesn't like expand it from that line and go out. It kind of does it equally, like that, which is why you've got a bigger box. But if you just make your, that's an extreme case. So maybe the example that I saw, someone had increased it to 3, line thickness of 3, and you couldn't tell. You could suspect that it wasn't working, but you couldn't actually tell if it was working, and it wasn't. And then the circle, they both have a radius of 50, but as you can see, an awful lot depends on the thickness, because if you're using exactly the same code to bounce that off the side and that off the side without taking into account anything but the radius and ignoring the line thickness, it will not come up with anything good. So if we go back to Paul's program here, let's do something really stupid. Line thickness of 36. There. No one says you can't. And first I'll just run it like that. There. Did you see it? It went off. It went off. It went off. It went off. And it went off. So I'm not going to show how you can fix that. It means you have to take the line thickness into consideration when you're doing anything. If you just had the line thickness of 1, it would work exactly the same as having a solid one, but I won't do it. You can work that out for yourself. So back to Paul's program. Back to Paul's program. Now he already did a lesson on this way back in 2023, and here's the main loop. And I didn't like this because what he does, he's going in at the top of the loop. He says, right, that's top left hand column, top left, right, left. Well, anyway, that's kind of saying if the top left hand corner is off the screen up there, or the top bottom right hand corner is off the screen either to the right or the left, then change direction. But the problem with that is that if, say, you were 3 away, I'll go back to no, I won't go back to anything. Say, think of this as a screen. If your box was coming along here and it was going do, if you were 3 away from the edge and your delta x was 7, it would say, oh, at 7, I'll change direction. So it never actually gets to the edge of the screen. And in a similar way, it won't ever get off the bottom, right to the bottom if it's a little bit far away, and so it doesn't really bounce properly. I won't show this running because you can't really tell that it's not working properly. So I made a video to explain this. I'll leave a link in the description, but my approach was that if you're 3 away and delta x is 7, for example, you go forward 1, forward 1, forward 1. I've reached the edge. Then you go back 1, back 1, back 1, back 1. So, you go forward 3 and back 4. So also in this one, he's putting the text for the frames per second. Then he's checking it, and then he's updating the position of the box by delta C and delta R, which is like column and row, as opposed to his new program is X and Y, but that's beside the point. So he never actually shows the rectangle in the original starting position, which is, it isn't a biggie, but just doesn't work exactly as one would like. Right, so this is back to Paul's, this is back to my version of Paul's program. And here, at the top of the loop, he shows the rectangle, which means he's showing it in the original position. And then he comes down here and he says, right, okay, I'm adding on X delta, I'm adding on Y delta. So there's the upper left and there's the lower right. And then he's checking to see whether it's in a valid position, i.e. is the left hand side of the box off that side, or the top of the box off that side, or the right hand side of the box off that side, or the bottom box off the bottom of the screen. And then he says, right, okay, if I've gone too far, if the box is there, for example, excuse me, if it's there, I'll reverse direction. But then he still shows it. So it's in an invalid position, but he still shows it. But it will get back on the next time, which I am not too thrilled with. So we'll run this. No, before we run this, I will take out my comments. Now this is still on x delta and y delta of 1, and I'm reverting to his example of it's a solid box. Whoops, helps if you take out that bit. I've got a sleep in there just in case you need to slow it down to see what it's doing. Right, there we go. It looks as if it's working. Still looks as if it's working. Yeah, brilliant. But that is with delta x and delta y being 1. So if you try, I don't know, probably still work with 2, but we'll try 7 and 11. Perfectly reasonable values, because you might want to vary the speed. We'll run that. Oh, that is too far to see. Ooh. I'm gonna put my sleep in, which doesn't do anything to the logic of the program. It just means you might be able to see it. Right, there we go. Right. Now it looks as if it's going off a bit, doesn't it? And if I move this down and go back onto that, when it hits, look, it's saying jailbreak, jailbreak. It's going off the screen. It's going off the screen. I'll quit that. So here, that's the upper left, which is okay. I can't remember. Can't remember what the things were. 1280720. 120. Right, yeah. 720 is the height, and that height has gone beyond it, which is why it's gone off the bottom, and then it goes off the top, it goes off at the right, it goes off the bottom, top, bottom left, blah 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 blah. And I haven't done anything to the program apart from putting in the debugging to show that it's doing something wrong, and just changing x delta and y delta. So here's my solution. Where is it? Yeah, here's my solution. I'll move this up again. Now what I'm doing is, I haven't done a lot to this program. I've just put in 2 variables for dear x and dear y, which if you're going left to right, that would be 1, and if you're going right to left, it's -1, and equally dear y, that's going down, and then if it's -1, it would be going up. Then first of all, because everything will go horrendously wrong, you might just be putting a box on the screen as opposed to creating it like that, and you could create a box that's bigger than the screen. So that is, if the box width isn't less than the screen width, or the box height isn't less than the height of the screen, then you've got nowhere to move it to, so that just bombs out. And then the other thing is, if the bottom of the box is against the bottom of the screen, you want to be going up. Sorry, that's the Y one. And if the right hand bit of the box is against the right hand screen, you want to be going left, which all seems fairly simple. Now I've left all my jailbreak things in. That is just for debugging, saying if there is a problem you display that. But the main bit, I've put in the sleep so you can see a bit better what's happening. Then instead of just adding delta x or delta y to x1 and x2, I'm doing it gradually. So this says if for example x delta is 7, this for loop goes from 0 to 6, and you add on dear x, so you add on 1 in the right direction, and then you create x2, and then you say if x1 is off the left hand side, or x2 is off the right hand side, no, has got to, sorry, if x1 has got to the left hand side, you change direction, or if x2 is against the right hand side, you change direction also. And you go through like that, so you step. So if for example you're 3 off the edge there, and you go, right, am I on the edge? No, I'll step 1, step 2, step 3, I'm on the edge, and then it will change direction. So step 4, step 5, step 6 and step 7 will take you back, and that excuse me, creates a perfect bounce. Doink doink. And exactly the same thing happens with delta y. Doink doink. And it works. So if we run this, I don't know what, yeah, I've got 11 and 7. Try running this. Now I've slowed it down a bit, but it looks as if it's working. But Paul's looked as if it was working. Well, not on these fast things. So if we go on there, I left excuse me, I left the all those statements to check whether you've gone out of bounds in, and because it hasn't, they are, because it can't, because I've taken care of it by stepping through 1 1 1, back 1 back 1 back 1, it can't actually do that. So I've just left that in to prove that it isn't going out of bounds. If you, in the real version of the program, you take those out, because there's no blinking point, because it won't get there. So that's just my video. I'm afraid it went on for a bit long, to prove that Paul's program, even though it looked like it was working, wasn't really.